As the international community looks to implement the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by the year 2030, international donor agencies converge on the nation's capital to meet with Nigeria's Vice President in a bid to ensure that the exercise is not merely an academic one, but one that will touch the life of every Nigerian citizen. At the presidential villa, representatives of global non-governmental organizations gather to inaugurate the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Donor Partnership Forum, which functions to facilitate Nigeria's access to new financing instruments such as green bonds and climate funds, in addition to technological and knowledge transfer for local capacity development. On this, key stakeholders trade thoughts.
The 2030 Agenda commits all countries and stakeholders to work together to promote sustained and inclusive economic growth, social development, environmental protection, rule of law and justice.
They cannot be tackled by one person, by one office, by one ministry. To deliver on the SDGs, we need that big collective effort.
And I'm hoping and I believe that we're not going to leave it hanging for everybody to do what anybody could do and nobody ends up doing anything. And so I want to thank Mr. Vice President because, focusing us very directly on the task at hand.
Shortly before chairing the day's sitting of the Presidential Probe Panel, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says Nigeria's governing policies take into account global goals as a global leader.
It explains why we have undertaken the largest single social investment program in our history, and secondly in sub-Saharan Africa, all of 500 billion naira every year. It explains why we believe that eradicating corruption is central to eradicating extreme poverty. We cannot allow theft of public resources and speak of sustainable development.
A busy day in the presidency, and one in which stakeholders seek synergy between the interests of all humanity and the interests of a nation. Ajuri Ngelale, Channels Television News.